most amazing artist, and welcome back to week 3 of our Tiny Seed Flowers. Remember, this project is inspired by The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle, so if you haven't already, go watch my video of that book where I'm reading it to you. It's an amazing, amazing book. Trust me, you're going to love it. And that book is really what has inspired this project. Last time, we were able to cut out the middle of our flower from our brown texture paper, and we cut out our 12 petals, or however many petals you needed. And after we cut those out, we went ahead and glued our petals to our circle, and we created our beautiful flowers. And as you can see, they are very big, just as big as my head. So these are really fun. They are coming out amazing so far, but we have one more step, and that is what today is for. The last step is we have to use our green paper now, the paper that we painted and used a bunch of different texture tools to make this. We are going to make the stem and the leaves for our flower. So it's kind of like the same thing that we did last time. We're going to be cutting and gluing, and that is the last step to finish up our tiny seed flowers. So of course, to do this, we are going to need our flower. We're also going to need our green painted paper. You will also need some scissors, some glue, and a messy mat. The messy mat is just to keep our table from getting sticky glue all over it. And in the video, I'm going to use a template to kind of trace where I want my stem to be and how big I want my leaves to be, but that's totally up to you as an artist. You can decide how long you want your stem, you can decide how tiny or big you want your leaves, things like that. So to draw your leaves and your stem on the back of your paper, you might need a pencil. I'll probably use a Sharpie just so you can see how big you want your leaves and how tall you want your stem. I am so excited to finish up these flowers with you guys. They are turning out absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to see when they're finished 100%. But before we do get started, let's go ahead and say our class mantra all together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. My mantra: I am positive, I am creative, I am mindful, I am amazing, I am an artist. All right, artists, let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so you are going to have a beautiful painted paper like this. I painted one for myself, but it's not dry yet. So I'm just going to use a green piece of paper here. And when you get your textured, beautiful painted piece of paper on the back, you're going to see 2 leaf shapes and 1 stem shape here. And of course, we are going to use our best scissor safety to cut these out. Remember, whenever you're using scissors, you need to cut away from yourself. So as you can see, I'm over here. My scissors are going that way. And I'm going to take my time and try my best to stay on that black line to keep it as straight as possible. And there you go. There is the stem of your flower. And we're going to glue that on in just a minute, but first I want to go ahead and cut out my leaf shapes as well. This hand is my lazy hand, so it is going to be holding my paper, and my scissors are just going to be opening and closing. And as my scissors open and close, this hand, my lazy hand, is rotating the paper around. So I am just going to go ahead and cut out my leaf shapes, and I'll be right back to show you how to glue them on. Alright, so I've cut out both of my leaves and the stem for my flower. And what I need to do next is take my flower with our beautiful petals, and I'm going to flip it over so now my flower is on the back, or the back is facing us, okay? And what I'm going to do is my stem is going to go on the bottom part of my flower, and I'm just going to take a little bit of glue. Remember, we don't need a lot of glue, just a few dots right where our stem is going to be glued down. So I put my glue down there. Don't know if you can see it that well. Right there. And I'm just going to press my stem right at the bottom of my flower. And we're going to count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there we go. Our stem is glued on. Now I'm going to come down a little bit ways, down towards the middle part of my stem, and that is where our leaves are going to be glued on. Now, your leaves can be right next to each other. Maybe you want one leaf higher and one leaf lower. That's totally up to you. But what I need you to do is make sure that whenever you glue your leaves down, only the corner of your leaf is being glued down. We don't want to glue it like this, because that's not how a flower leaf looks, right? It's always off to the side a little bit, okay? Maybe you want your leaves to be pointing downwards. That's totally up to you. But I think I want mine to be pointing upwards. And what I'm going to do is I am just going to put a little bit of glue right where I want my leaves to be glued on. And I'm going to just take the corner of your leaf, press it down, and count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I'm going to take my second leaf, just on the corner here. We don't want to glue the middle, just the corner. And I'm going to press it down on my glue. And I'm going to count to 10 one last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now guys, just like with our flower up here, this glue is still not dry yet. It's gonna take a little while for it to dry 100%, so we need to be extra careful when we flip it around to look at our beautiful flower. Now, this flower is very big, so it's a little bit hard for you to see the whole thing, but it looks absolutely beautiful. And once this glue is 100% dry, we can actually hold the flower like we picked it out in a beautiful flower field or something like that. We can get super creative with where our flower came from. We can get creative with what we call our flower. Does it have a certain name? What kind of flower did you make? But that is it for our tiny seed flowers. I hope you guys really enjoyed this project and learned a lot about texture, exploring how to create texture with paints. We learned a lot about how to use scissors properly, how to glue nice and neatly, and how to make a beautiful giant flower. I hope you guys have a lot of fun. I can't wait to see how your flowers turn out. I know they're going to be amazing because you guys are amazing. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.